I don't know if anybody knows Tiana Arata, but today she was formally brought up on 8 felony charges, and they're all bogus. For those who have been a major part of this movement, that have been with us since day one, that have protested since day one, 2 months ago, we all know that it's trumped up, and it was basically made her to be a martyr, in a sense, to kill this movement on all sides. Whether it be with the youth, whether it be with the elders, doesn't matter. It was designed to stop what we are all trying to do and get the message across of equality. Am I wrong? That's right. So, I need everybody, every day, to flood our district attorney's voicemail and email to the point where he has no choice but to drop these charges. I say this because I see more than a handful of people who have been there since day one, myself included, that should have been arrested. So why am I still here? It doesn't matter that, yes, I may be the liaison to the police department and I speak with them, but I'm just as guilty. I've been walking these streets. I've been blocking traffic. Amon, you with me, correct? But yet, they made her the point of emphasis. They said that she was resisting arrest, when clearly you see on the video, she's being trampled and pulled and forced into a police cruiser.
The right to vote is one of the most valuable constitutional rights granted to most Americans. And that is why the NAACP was so pleased that H.R. 4, the Voting Rights Advancement Act, passed the U.S. House of Representatives on December 6, 2019, by a decisive margin of 228 to 187. It's now been renamed as of July 27, 2020, John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act of 2020. In the words of John Lewis, freedom is not a state, it is an act. It is not some enchanted garden perched high on a distant plateau where we can finally sit down and rest. Freedom is a continuous action we all must take, and each generation must do its part to create an even more fair, more just society. Let's get into good trouble. Thank you.
So where do we start? 2 steps. I'm simplifying it, but 2 steps. First step, we need to talk about it. We need to start discussing it and acknowledging it in our homes and in our relationships. We need to start recognizing it and reaching out when family members and friends are suffering and struggling. If you notice someone who is starting to pull away or retreating, that can be a sign that they're dealing with mental health problems. If you know someone who's starting to maybe slack some at work or at home, that can be a sign. And instead of going back to our go-to, pray on it, or it'll be all right, or stop crying, you'll be fine. Ask them what they need. Ask them if they need to go talk to someone. And we've got to ask ourselves the same questions. What do we need? Do we need to go talk to someone? We've got to start normalizing asking for help. Normalize seeing a therapist. Normalize taking medications if we need them. We've got to let go of this idea of wipe your tears, put a smile on, and go about your day. And once we start doing that, we start recognizing it and becoming more comfortable talking about it, you then start recognizing how much work needs to be done in our communities to help us heal. And that's the second step. There's so much work to be done, and once we start acknowledging it in ourselves and in our relationships, we can start joining the fight and demanding more to be done when it comes to our mental health. We can start joining the fight to implement appropriate policies and structures that need to be in place in order to start healing. We can start advocating for more healers in our community that look like us, for us people of color. For people of color, we shouldn't have to search high and low to find a counselor, a psychiatrist, or a doctor that just looks like us. For people of color, we shouldn't have to be out on the front lines or experience this inevitable trauma often at the hands of the dominant culture and then have no policies and structure in place to support us and let us heal. And like I said in the beginning, access to mental health resources is and should be a social justice issue, and it is a public health crisis. Mental illness does not discriminate. We need to recognize that first. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, schizophrenia, those are not just a white person disease like so many people of color have thought it to be. And once we realize that and understand that mental illness does not discriminate, we unfortunately start to understand that the current systems in place that facilitate this approach to mental illness and mental health unfortunately does discriminate. So 2 steps. First step, recognize it, acknowledge it within ourselves and in our homes. Second step, demand more to be done at local and national levels.
Daily meditation and affirmations are the significant care we need for ourselves. Be aware of your own personal distress. Lean into it. Lean into your suffering. Hold space for the negative. Being in this space is an act of compassion, self-compassion. Breathe in the pain, the hurt, the negative, the suffering. Breathe out compassion. Be on the lookout for symptoms of inner peace. Breathe in fears, judgments, conflicts, worries. Breathe out love, joy, appreciation, feelings of connectedness with others and nature, and smile. Be on a lookout for symptoms of inner peace. And on this day, awaken self-compassion and inner peace to kindle your drive to achieve.
I'm proud to say I'm a lifetime member of the NAACP. First and foremost, I want to make it clear that my thoughts and my words are my own. I do not represent or speak for any elected official, political group, or special interest. I call it like I see it. I deal with the facts and not conjecture. I speak as a Black woman in America. I speak as a Black health professional who sees every nature of human being. What we have in the United States is a non-healthcare system. People need access to healthcare and healthcare providers, not access to an insurance company. The public has a right to health, accessible health care, and we must claim that right. We must elect officials who represent our interests as human beings, as citizens deserving the right to health like other citizens around the world. One of the richest nations in the world with the poorest health, with the most people incarcerated, with the poorest nutrition status, the largest number of fatal obesity. This is the country that we are not being represented equally by. And I say to you today, as a Black woman in America, as a Black woman that sees what happens in America, that we have the power to change this. How do we do it? Vote. V-O-T-E. We have to remind the elected officials that we hired them. And if we don't do our jobs, we get fired. They don't do their jobs, fire them. Vote. Cause some good trouble. Thank you.
Because our economy is built as an extractive economy. That means like all of that, like the capitalists, the folks at the top, the billionaires, the millionaires are only working to extract and exploit from the people. And we see this everywhere. We see the wealthiest folks are extracting, right, mining and oil drilling. There's no reason for it. Because we can't keep continuing this way. There's no reason that we need to be in an extractive economy. When we focus on profit, and the other speakers have said this too, is when we focus on profit, we forget people. We forget the health effects. Yeah. No, we forget that like profit is actually the major cause of all of these issues. We see that this like constant need for survival is causing mental health. issues, right? We see that like this constant need to pay bills and just exist within this system is causing health issues. And then there's the pharmaceutical companies and the oil companies and all of the people at the top that are profiting off of this. And so that means we need to fundamentally restructure our economy. Because, because climate change is actually not a scientific issue. We know the science. We know that there's too many parts per billion in the atmosphere of carbon. It's over 350 and it's really, really bad and it looks really bad for us. It's not a scientific problem, it's an economic problem. Our whole economy is built to extract resources from the earth until we literally die and run out of resources.
There is a difference between essential workers and illegals, right? It's a big difference. It's how we interpret reality, how we change the paradigm, how we can change people's life, how we decided to do something now, not tomorrow, now. How we decided to do something important that can be determined. And that's why we are here. At the same time, and under these circumstances, I really remain optimistic because we still can dream, create powerful visions, and sing songs of love, freedom, and justice. Let's raise our voices, tell the truth to power, and make the difference today. Black Lives Matter. Join the NAACP. God bless you all, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much.
Since the poor are less present in our juries and cannot afford paid attorneys, they often get harsher sentences and larger fines, which perpetuates the cycle of poverty, sometimes for generations. Yet, I remain optimistic because in the year that I was born, segregation was still in place, which meant people of color did not have the freedom to vote, to eat where they wanted to use a restroom, or even marry who they wanted to. Violating these orders came with penalties up to and including death. Furthermore, if I were to suffer from mental illness, then I could have been hospitalized for life and sterilized. So when I hear the slogan, "Make America Great Again," I say, for who? I think a better slogan is, "Make America better than it's ever been." Be the change. We are the change. Vote, and if you're able, serve on a jury. Ask questions of your elected officials. We are America, and when we put our minds to it, we prevail. Thank you.